October 1st, 2013. It's a foggy Tuesday afternoon in San Francisco. The Glen Park Library is silent, smelling of old paper and dust. It's the kind of place where nothing ever happens. Tucked away in the science fiction section, a young man sits alone at a wooden table. He's wearing a hoodie and jeans. To the librarian, he looks like just another graduate student working on a thesis. He opens his laptop, connects to the free public Wi-Fi, and types in a password. But he isn't studying. In that moment, he is logging into the master control panel of the largest illegal marketplace in human history. Behind him, a man and a woman begin to argue. Their voices rise. It's loud. It's annoying. The young man turns his head, distracted by the noise. He doesn't realize it's a trap. The couple are undercover FBI agents, and the distraction is the signal. Before he can turn back, a third agent slides across the table and snatches his laptop before he can close the lid. The young man is slammed against the glass window. He looks shocked, confused, and terrified. So, who was this criminal mastermind? Was he a cartel boss? A hardened gangster? No, his name was Ross Ulbricht. He was 29 years old, an Eagle Scout from Texas, a physics major on a full scholarship. His friends described him as gentle, kind, and deeply philosophical. He loved hiking, he practiced yoga, and he volunteered for charities. So, how does a kid like this end up with the FBI, the D, and Homeland Security hunting him down? Ross wasn't driven by greed, at least, not at first. He was driven by an idea. He was a radical libertarian. He believed that the government had no right to tell you what to put in your body. He looked at the war on drugs and saw only violence and failure. He wanted to solve it. He wanted to create a world where people could buy and sell whatever they wanted, free from the government's eyes. He didn't want to build a drug cartel. He wanted to build a utopia. In 2010, Ross Ulbricht was unemployed and looking for a purpose. He stumbled upon two emerging technologies that would change the world. First, there was Tor, the onion router, a network originally funded by the US Navy that bounced internet traffic around the world, making users virtually invisible. Second, there was a new, obscure digital currency called Bitcoin. It allowed money to be moved without banks, without identities, and without traces. Ross had a revelation. If he combined Tor's invisibility with Bitcoin's anonymity, he could create a perfect black market, an Amazon for the underworld. He spent months coding in secret. He learned quickly. He grew his first product, psychedelic mushrooms, in a rental cabin to test the system. In February 2011, he launched the website. He called it the Silk Road, named after the ancient trade route that connected the East and West. He posted a link on a few forums, and waited. He didn't know it yet, but he had just lit a match in a room full of gasoline.
We have them.
The
Mobilize
Silk
Alpha
Road
team to this
didn't just
location
work,
now.
it exploded. It was sleek, it was professional, it had a shopping cart, seller profiles, and a 5-star review system. But instead of books or electronics, you could scroll through listings for high-grade cocaine, pure heroin, forged passports, and hacking tools. Dealers sent their products through the regular mail, vacuum-sealed in clever disguises. The postman became the unwitting drug mule, delivering contraband right to your doorstep. Within months, the site went viral. Senators were talking about it. The media called it the eBay of Vice. Money poured in. Ross took a commission on every single sale. Soon, he was making tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. But as the empire grew, Ross's life shrank. He couldn't tell his family. He couldn't tell his friends. He sat in his messy bedroom in San Francisco, surrounded by empty coffee cups, staring at screens for 18 hours a day. He needed an alter ego. He adopted the handle Dread Pirate Roberts, a character from the movie The Princess Bride. To his users, DPR was a hero, a revolutionary leader fighting the system. But in reality, Ross was becoming paranoid, isolated, and increasingly desperate. Running an illegal empire comes with a problem. You can't call the police when things go wrong. In 2013, the walls began to close in. A user known as Friendly Chemist hacked a major vendor and threatened to leak the real names of thousands of Silk Road customers unless Ross paid a massive ransom. This was the breaking point. The Eagle Scout, the pacifist who claimed to hate violence, made a chilling decision. He decided that to protect his creation, he had to kill. Ross contacted a hitman on the site. In encrypted chats, the physics student typed the words, "I would like to put a bounty on his head." He transferred hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bitcoin to have the blackmailer executed. Later, the hitman sent him photos of a body. Ross replied that he was a little disturbed, but I'm okay. He didn't know the hitman was a scammer. He didn't know the photos were faked. No one actually died, but the intent was there. Ross Ulbricht had crossed a line from which there was no return. While Ross was playing gangster, the FBI,
Ross,
and IRS were hunting a ghost. They had chased him for 2 years with no leads. But they caught him because of a simple, human mistake. An IRS agent named Gary Alford started digging through the internet's history. He found a post on a coding forum from 2011, asking
Ross,
for help with the Silk Road code. The user was named Altoid. Agent Alford tracked Altoid to another post, where the user asked for IT experts and said, "Email me at rosselbricht@gmail.com." It was a breadcrumb left years ago. Before the empire, before the millions, a single careless moment. That was enough. They tracked his location to San Francisco. They watched him. They learned his routine. They knew he worked from the Glen Park Library. Now, they just had to catch him with his fingers on the keyboard.
The horror was exponential.
The raid at the library was the end of Ross Ulbricht, but not the end of his idea. Ross was convicted on all counts. He was sentenced to double life imprisonment plus 40 years. Without the possibility of parole, he will likely die in a concrete cell. The Silk Road was shut down, but when you cut off one head, 3 more grow back. Today, the dark web is larger, faster, and more sophisticated than Ross ever imagined. He built the prototype, he proved it was possible, and in doing so, he changed the world forever. The file is closed, but the digital war continues. The Silk Road has fallen, but the digital underworld is far from dead. To uncover more secrets from the dark web, hit like and subscribe. Until the next transmission.